Good afternoon. So earlier this morning I cleaned up around the Badilla sugarcane plants and got 3 and a bit tubs of sugarcane mulch out of it. It was nice and cloudy until I started to work, and then it just got warm. So what I've also got is the leftovers of the lawn clippings. We've got our pelletised poultry manure and our pelletised seaweed manure. We've got the chunky bits on top of the manure. That's going to go in the gutter side. We've got 2 good manures, 3 tubs of weeds from yesterday, that, and that to sort out. So hoe, scrape a bit of dirt this way to actually make a gutter. Sugarcane mulch, manure, dry manure, sugarcane mulch. What I'll do though first is dig through the planting strip with the manure and soil conditioners, and then worry about the strip at the back. So yeah, got my order wrong. Okay, let's see how it goes. More cow manure. So sugarcane mulch down the side, then green waste, that's going to be the weeds from yesterday, and then more stuff out of the garden, really. I think before I get more stuff out of the garden I should mulch this growing bed. I know the roots are going to go everywhere, but initially they're going to go into the broken up fertile soil and grab all the nutrients they want out of there. So that's their main bed, but the roots will go that way, the roots will go that way, and hopefully this will become a productive source of nutrients for the plants as the various things I throw in there from the garden break down. So yep, back to work. All but one of our tubs are empty, and that's the one that's half full of lawn clippings. So we've got our bed sorted to an extent. What we need to do is mulch this outside strip where the plants are going to go, and then pick some green waste out of the garden and chuck on the far side, and come up with an edging solution. I've got a couple of things in mind. One of them's bound to work. So here's where we're up to. That lawn clipping mulch looks particularly good. It really makes it look finished. Whereas this green waste doesn't look completed, and this moist, wet mulch just looks like garbage. But it will all be mulched a second time, the edge of the bed. Once I get the edging in place, I'm thinking planks. I have some planks, hardwood planks, of course. Some of them look very trashy, so they're perfect to spend on a garden bed. And this little guy is going to get a bit more mulch around him when things are done. So, yep, it's going well. Let's see what tomorrow brings. So I'm really loving this idea of having a mulch bed and then having a grow bed. It seems like a fantastic idea. I know someone else will have come up with this in the past. I didn't invent it, but I didn't know that they'd done it, or I would have probably thought of this a lot sooner. So I've just been taking stuff out of the garden and dumping it in here. Weeds, cuttings. I've taken out 2 of the cassava plants straight in here. So I know it's going to pack down, but it's pretty full at the moment. And I've got some planks out. This has got to be edged to stop weeds coming in underneath it and being a pain, the same way unedged parts are. And I've realised I'm going to have to work out how to do this corner, because I'm actually going to do the same thing across the front. What I figure is, if I do run a bit short of mulch, I can bring it in from somewhere else. We're always slashing something and mowing, and we can get extra grass. We can find plenty of mulch around the place. So I'm going to look at this side. So as I'm going to do the same sort of thing across the front here, what I'm thinking is to bring a board out about 5 feet so that I can finish the edging on this side and start the edging across the front here. Not now, but sometime in the future. So I've got a few rubbish 6" by inch or so boards, this included. I've got a 6 by 2, which I'm going to move to the front because it's more attractive. And I've got a real piece of trash for back here. No one should see this. So, pretty wood in front. I could have used all 6 by 2, but I really hate to cut good lengths of timber. This stuff, not so fussed about. It's a bit rotted, but I suspect it will still hold for years. So, yeah, I'm going to get this garden edged, stop weeds trying to sneak in, and I'm going to juggle around that board there, get that where I want it, and then see which of these I can get into place around it to get the length approximately right. So that's the job for this afternoon. I'm not sure we'll get any pickets in or any boards fixed, but we'll see. And I just got back from checking another wood pile, and I found this piece of 6 by 1, and it, together with this particular piece of rubbish, will actually finish this off. So this is halfway decent. We can save that. We'll keep the piece of ironbark at the back. The nice plank, well, I really wasn't going to use it up here, but if it fitted perfectly, it would have gone in the mix. Bit of an odd angle here, but that really doesn't matter for this sort of job. I mean, I'm not even going to trim that off. So get rid of this, and this, and we'll go with that one there and that long piece there. So yeah, happy with that arrangement. I'm sure that's how we're going to go. It's another day. There's 5 or so wallabies on the hill up behind me. Be a bit tricky to spot them. And I'm ready to go. So if you saw my last build video, you know I cut down star pickets, Y posts, and I use them for edging, also called droppers, I believe. So I've got those sorted out. Back here, I'm looking at attaching that with a bracket. I've got some old brackets I can reuse. I'm thinking about attaching this corner with the bracket as well, just to save on cut down star pickets. What I am going to do is I'm going to turn this around so that we've got a nice end over there to join up to, because this is a bit of a mess. So yeah, I'm going to start at the back end, and then I'll adjust these forward as I need to fit them in. I'm using one store-bought T-post, and apart from that, it's all stuff we had lying around. The foreman is here to oversee the work. Hey buddy. Everything going well? So this is our local male magpie. He and his partner have had 5 babies this year. Well, there's one in the corner of the garden. I'm sorry, they've had 3 babies this year. There's a total of 5 of them. They had one of last year's babies helping them, and he left about 3 or 4 months ago. This guy usually travels with one of the babies in tow, whereas his partner travels with 2, so he gets to eat more food, and he is a bit of a greedy bugger. You probably can't tell from the camera right now, but he's a metre away from me at the moment. Hey buddy. I think of him as being called Pauly because of the birdie thing. It's pretty cool. Oh yes, about 2 feet at the moment, 60 centimetres. That's cool. Do you want to have a look at the camera? Well, listen, birdie, I've got to get back to work. I bought these guys a bird bath, and I'm very pleased to see that they're using it. I don't know where they go to drink normally, but magpies are highly territorial, and I thought a nice source of clean drinking water that they could have without a fight would be good for them. And I'm sure it is. Catch you later, buddy. So before Pauly interrupted us, I realised this piece here is very badly bowed. So I'm going to have to take remedial steps to straighten that, or keep it in a permanently bent state, which would be more correct. Three of the Wallabies, 12, 15 metres away. They're keeping an eye on me to make sure I don't do anything crazy, but they're fine at this distance. They know I'm here, they can hear me working. I'm talking to you. These are genuinely such pretty little animals that you just want to pat them. They're gorgeous. Apparently they make good lawnmowers if you've got the right kind of fence and a permit to keep them as pets. There's probably more of them kept in England as pets than there are in Australia. Ooh, bird fight. Anyway, they're a great distraction, especially when joeys are sticking their heads out of their pouches, but I can't see any at the moment. I have just found out that if I straighten this board here, it looks very straight. So if I get one more picket at the right angle down here, piece of a star picket, it's all going to hold quite nicely. I was going to tuck the end of it behind this board here and fix this board in place first, so that that would hold this end here in place, but I don't think I have to, and I can always cut up some more star pickets at any stage. So that's something for tomorrow, because it's too dark at the moment and I better go in and make some dinner. So a good start to the edging. Of course I'm going to stuff a heap of mulch along in here to suppress weeds all around, but yeah, going well. G'day, so here we go again. We are going to pin this board down, hopefully correcting the curve in it. Then we're going to look at levelling it. I know that might sound backwards. We've got a substantial gap here, and this end here is raised, but it's floating at the moment. So we can adjust it. We can take some earth out of here and here maybe even top this up a bit along here, but I'm not too worried about that. We can just pack it with mulch and that will cause enough darkness that weeds shouldn't grow. So let's get to that. Then look at the big one, which is much straighter. It's going to be fairly simple, I say, knowing that I've just jinxed myself. Right, let's get this in. So in another epic record failure, what I've done is I've banged this piece of shim stock in here, which straightened the board up considerably. I put a second run of wire through there, tightened that up, and then I did my usual and curled the ends around so that they're less of a hazard. So yay, forgetting to press record. Well, actually, I did press record, it just took a photo. Okay. So that board is pretty straight as it needs to be in any case. I have decided I'm going to do a bit of levelling on this. Sod the last board, I mean, we're losing light, but I need to take some height out over there. And maybe a little down here. Yes, I'm definitely happier now. That end's dropped quite a bit, and we've kind of patched up the middle there. That end's dropped a little bit. So yeah, that's good.